Vin, James, my friends, what's happening?
Not much. We're just sitting here waiting for you.
Yeah, I know. It takes ages because I have to sit here and watch your awesome music video, man.
Oh, which one was that?
It looks like the one where you guys are in jail, man. What's happening there?
That was Fremantle Jail. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool.
Mm.
It's a fabulous video, man.
Oh yeah, thanks. That was good. Yeah, I think one of your mates helped film it.
I think one of our mutual mates did it. Yeah,
it's not really a friend.
It looked like. Yeah, I can see. I see. He's already he's tuning here.
At best.
That's it. Now, but now, look, man, fantastic job on the video there, man. Looks amazing, and very thick production as well on the sound.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That whole record came out really good, so we really liked it. It was really, really good. What we wanted.
Yeah, I've been giving it a bit of a spin over the last week. It's really top notch production, man. How whereabouts did you record that?
We recorded that. We did all the drums and stuff at Underground Studios, just over in Bibra Lakeway.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
And then then we did a lot of it in house with Simon, who did the recording at his place. So all the stuff that we could do just within a room. We didn't have to have any kind of live aspect to it. So it was a long time. It took us ages to do it. But yeah, we were it was good. It was a great relief when we got it finished and done and out there. It was well overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you, in regards to the mixing and stuff, is that something you had done locally as well, or have you had that?
Yeah. So Simon did the mixes himself.
Yep.
And then we got it mastered by a bloke in the US. He was actually in charge of doing all the remastering for all the Pantera albums and whatnot when they did a whole bunch of remastering. So. That was pretty cool.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go. So how do you get in touch with him?
Actually, through Simon, he had recommended him. I think we'd used someone else in the past when we did the other singles prior to that album.
Yep.
And I think Simon had just caught wind of that guy and suggested him and mentioned of what work he'd been doing and whatnot. And yeah, it was pretty a no-brainer, really. We thought we'd put it in his hands to do the mastering.
Well, he's done an amazing job because the whole album sounds amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of like I said, it took us ages, a lot of work. So we were very, very, very happy when it was released. Definitely happy with the product.
Yeah, good. And from what I can understand, you guys are in the works of making a new album or some new material at the moment.
We're doing singles. We're going to release 4 singles. Yeah, because we've got nothing to do. We're not touring overseas at the moment, so yeah, may as well write them.
Why not?
I reckon this sounds way bigger.
Yeah,
way bigger.
Yeah, we've gone through a different engineer, I guess. With so Simon did pretty much all our stuff. The last.
And he's phenomenal.
Yeah, Simon's been happy, and he's the resident guitarist in Chaos Divine as well, the local Perth band. So, and we just we love working with him and whatnot. And we just for this new stuff, we wanted to go into a different direction and kind of, I guess, almost rebrand Tempest Rising. And I guess we chose to go with Matt Templeman. So we've been working with him over the last couple of months. And we're pretty much in the final stages of all the songs getting done. So I think Matt's going to start mixing the first single hopefully tomorrow, and Vin's got a couple of things to finish off in the coming weeks, and we'll slowly get them released. Hopefully all released before the end of the year, or the majority before the end of the year. So looking forward to it. Sounding really good. Exceeded our expectations and can't wait to show it. It's gonna be great.
That's a good start if it sort of exceeds your expectations. And are you saying that the sound of this album, like, you're happier with that compared to the last one?
Yeah, definitely. We
far out.
Anything with bands and maturing sounds and whatnot. Like with the last album, we were all, and the singles before that with Simon, we were all chasing a different sound to what had been done, I guess, locally or nationally even, with other bands and whatnot. So the sound it didn't sound, I guess, it sounded not like everything we'd done. I wouldn't say this stuff sounds like that, but it's different to Older Ego, different production.
Very different sound. Different sound.
Yeah, I guess Simon and Matt, two different people. So they work two different ways, different techniques, how they do things and whatnot. So it's definitely different. I think with the style of the songs and what we've written as well, it definitely complements it. Working with Matt and what he's done, I think just the way we've written the songs and works well with him and his procedures and how he does things as well. So and what sounds he kind of gets. So and he's pumped. He's been loving working with us as well because he hasn't done a heavy record for a long time. He's just been working on pop punk and prog stuff, so he was really keen to jump onto it and record us. So it's been awesome. It's been really great.
Awesome, man. So what made you decide to do a couple of singles this time instead of an album?
We wanted to release stuff intermittently. We didn't want to drop an album and then not have anything to produce or to give to our fan over the coming months. So we wanted to spread it out over a period of time. We're going to release music videos with each song as well. So I think we're going to do a month apart.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
That's our plan. Yeah.
Shit, that's going to keep you busy then.
Yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah, I think the songs we recorded, we had pretty much written, except for probably one of them. We just kind of hadn't really finished it at the time, but we were. Once we got the kind of go ahead to start recording, we obviously started working on that and tried to finish that song. But I think with everything going on in the current climate situation, we can't, obviously can't tour, can't go out of the state really. So it's important just to, I guess, keep the wheels in motion with the band and keep being active. And this is the best way to do it. We had 4 great songs pretty much ready to go. So we thought, well, we'll just record these, release them as singles.
We're already writing new songs.
Yeah, we already started writing songs.
Release next year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically just to keep the wheels in motion for the rest of the year, and hopefully, come 2021, the world's gone a bit more sane and we can actually get out of here. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, this is for us as a band. It's probably the best way to keep everything going.
And it's also, it's also crazy when you are sort of comparing to the rest of the world, and how lucky we have been in Perth to actually have the opportunity to even go into a studio and rehearse and play a couple of live gigs and all that as well.
Probably only living in WA, I think.
Yep, absolutely, man. Speaking of gigs, though, you got some gigs coming up, or you've got one big one coming up at least.
Yes. Yeah.
You want to get
sold out 3 days ago?
That's it. That's it. Slayfest. Yeah. But what's the expectation for that one?
Oh, it's gonna be a big night. I think. Good. Yeah. I think I'm calling in sick the next day, so it should be good.
Well,
it's a big lineup, a lot of heavy hitters on there from a lot of local talent, which is awesome. Like just the bands coming out of WA is phenomenal. So all of that's on showcase for that night. So everyone will be in. Hopefully, everyone brings their A game, and it's all go from start to finish.
There's literally only A game that night.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Pathogen, Sanzu. Yeah, I'm so keen to see those 2 bands.
Should be awesome.
And Chaos Divine as well.
Is there any? I've got the flyer up on the screen at the moment for anyone watching here, so we can we can try and run through. So obviously, Pathogen has been bumped up now to be the headline. I think was it Carcass before something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But obviously, it has to be like a WA edition at the moment. Then we've got Black Steel and Infected as the next one up. And then sort of you guys in the next run, along with KS Divine, Vanadium, BC, Sansu, Battlesword, Steelmaster.
Yeah.
I think they were on last year or something as well, Battlesword, Steelmaster, from what I remember.
They look pretty.
Yeah, they were like, I think it's almost like a bit of a spoof band. Like they're all dressed up in like costumes and stuff. But yeah, it's super fun, super entertaining. And then we've got a couple of the other locals. We've got Baby Suspect, Depravity, Plague, Deathlehem. Yes, lots, man. It'll be an awesome night there. And have you got anything else sort of lined up for the rest of the year, or just got to focus on the videos?
Yeah, we're going to focus on the videos. We're going to write more stuff so that we can record it next year, and just release this stuff. And I think we're organising a rural tour of WA, but I think we're going to do that beginning of next year. So we're going to, the end of this year is just finishing releasing these tracks and writing more stuff so that we can release more stuff next year.
Nice, man. And you're running everything yourself? Like you're organizing tours and doing all the marketing and all that yourself?
Yeah, predominantly, yeah. We obviously seek help from people that know what they're doing, because sometimes we don't know what we're doing. So, but we do a lot of the groundwork ourselves and reach out and see where we can play and what we can find out and whatnot. And then we obviously just network with other people that have done it in the past. It's not even necessarily metal music, but just in general, setting up events and stuff like that. Especially in WA, it's a bit of it could be a bit hit and miss sometimes. And the towns you play in, do they even have live venues, or what's the setup with PA and gear and stuff like that? So you got to really do your homework for it. So it's also, we just do what we can, and then like to network and try to find out what's the best avenues and what's feasible for everyone. Yeah. And go from there.
Yeah, definitely helps. Definitely helps to have a live venue if you're going to go and play a couple of gigs.
Yeah, that's it.
But also, like I could see sort of from your website and our quick conversation before we went live that you did a couple of tours last year as well. You went overseas.
We went Europe.
And then you've done a stint in Japan as well.
Yeah, so we're in Europe for 6 weeks. Yeah, and we toured Germany, Poland, all through the Baltics, Russia, Ukraine, Greece, which was good because my heritage is Greek, and it was my least favorite country to do that.
Really?
Yeah. I think I preferred Eastern Europe. Like Ukraine was easily I think everyone's highlight. Yeah, it was phenomenal. They love metal music, and to have, while we're touring there, people singing my lyrics like back to me in the Ukraine, I was just like,
oh,
what?
Wow.
Yeah, I was very confused actually. So that was pretty awesome. And then while we're in Europe, we got offered a spot in Japan, and then we basically had to like work out how we were going to fly home, convince like our bosses to let us fly back overseas like 2 weeks as soon as we got home. So we're all stressing, and one of the boys almost got fired from like his job because they were like, nah, you're not going. Oh wait, no, he didn't go. Yeah, Jared actually did. So our bassist couldn't get time off, so he didn't go. Yeah. So we actually went to Japan no bassist, which I think we sounded better. He's not watching this.
So you went over and played a show without your bass player?
Yeah, it definitely sucked. Like we really missed him while we were over there, which is what we're saying here on.
Of course.
Yeah, for the record. It didn't sound as chunky, and our sound is definitely quite groovy and chunky, so we did miss him. But it was the second time we'd been back to Japan, so we had people there that were coming to see us, which was awesome. That was good. But yeah, missing Jared did suck.
Yeah, I should have said, it was so funny because we were like, he was umming and ahhing whether he did it or not, because it would basically mean more likely getting fired from his job if he did bite the bullet and did come with us. And knowing Jared's nature, we kind of thought, maybe he might just do it. He won't.
No, he was going to do it. Yeah. I convinced him not to. He was going to do it, and I was like, dude, you need your job, man. Like, I basically said, don't come, because if he loses a job, especially in this climate, like it's so hard to get a job. So I was like, man, you gotta. It was like 4 shows. I mean, it meant something to us, but like, you know, it's a tough call. He
was running late to the airport, so we were all thinking, oh yes, he's going to pick Jared up on the way through. He's going to be there. And then when he rocked up and Jared wasn't there, what's wrong? We were all looking like in sheer disappointment that he wasn't there.
Man. Yeah, that would be so sad to sort of leave a brother at home.
Yeah, but it worked out. You know, like he's got a job. He's still got the same job. You know, is
it a good job?
It's a good job in that it helps pay for things that he needs, and you know, putting money into the band so we can make these majestic music videos, like paying to be able to shoot in the Fremantle prison. That was pretty fucking baller. Yeah, so I think it did work out, despite what he does for a job, okay? Like, if you ever want to see him in his job, what corner does he work?
The one down the road.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the corner he works, but yeah.
Wicked, man. So I'm keen to hear a bit more about that tour in Europe. How did that happen? Is it something you were setting it up?
No, good mate of ours.
So Michael, we reached out to Michael Luders over in Sydney. He runs Metal Ruse and Black Ruse Entertainment, and he'd been obviously running those the Metal Down Under shows and the Global Metal and the one everyone plays that gig on the same day kind of thing like that. So we pretty much reached out to him and had heard he'd had kind of done a bit of tour promoting and stuff before, and we suggested, like, look, we want to go to Europe. Originally, the plan was to go for, I think, 3 months, 12 weeks all up.
Wow.
Once we, so
I'm actually glad we did.
We probably wouldn't be still here if that was the case.
I think we would have murdered each other.
So we got half of it booked. So practically what we did as the tour was the halfway point, and we only had a couple of shows kind of penciled in after that. And I guess as dates got closer and things started getting a bit more into cement, we were like, oh, I think we've probably bitten off more than we can chew here. So Greece was a perfect point to kind of where we finished up in Greece. The plan was to go back down and go through like Croatia and
Italy and stuff like that.
Down the countries surrounding that area down that way, and possibly I think maybe finish up in Turkey or something like that and fly back there. But yeah, like I said, we probably had 1 or 2 things penciled in there that we just thought it was easier. We'll cut it off at Greece and fly home from Greece.
We stayed there for a week as well after our show. So we just chilled in Greece for like 4 days. I think it was 4 days.
Yeah. So we did sightseeing around there as well.
Whereabouts in Greece?
We were just in Athens.
Athens, yeah.
I think me and James, we did a romantic luncheon.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we basically mapped out where we wanted to go, and he was like, I can get shows here, and here, and he basically spoke to his organisers and his contacts, and they pretty much took over certain parts of the tour. So we had one person do a bit of Germany and Poland, another promoter of his do a bit of the Baltics, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. One guy did Russia, and I think the same guy who did Poland, he actually spoke to one of his people for the Ukraine side of things.
It was balling, man.
It was a collective effort by Michael and all his contacts and his team, and he basically told us, this is where you're playing, and we figured out the logistics side of things of how we're going to get there and where we're going to stay and whatnot. So look, it was it was a very budget tour, put it that way, but it was awesome fun. Like, all of us were all pretty cruisy, and like we'd sleep on if someone.
We literally crashed in some we made some awesome friends as well. So in Poland we played a show and met some Ukrainians who then let us crash at their place like 3 weeks later while we were touring Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and we're still really good friends with a bunch of them. Like, it was phenomenal. There's some stories there that we definitely cannot tell on this. Legit. I'll be able to say.
Yeah, look, it's it was good. It was awesome fun. Like,
I don't think we're allowed back in Estonia though.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed back.
It was awesome experience, and a lot of none of us had actually done. You never went to Europe.
Are you looking at me because I look European?
No, I couldn't.
It's fucking racist.
I've not done any proper like kind of European touring and European travel and stuff like that.
Jared has.
Yeah. So but to the extent we did, we were literally catching trains and on buses and just getting from point A to point B. We were literally on. I think one of the places where to get to Poland, we were on a pretty much a Trans-Perth equivalent train, just a normal generic train, and we were going from one town to another, and
it was phenomenal.
It was weird, like the school kids were getting on it and stuff, and there was all 5 of us with all our gear on this train. Freaking, hopefully we bought the right tickets, so the guys checking our tickets.
I don't think in my life I've ever enjoyed being a vocalist more than that tour, because I carried fucking nothing. And these guys had all their gear, and I had one bag and a camera. And that's all. I was just like, yeah, guys, this is my gear, and just took photos of everything. That's what I did. It was fantastic.
You would have been the most hated guy in that.
Yeah, and that's not because of the gear, though. It was just like, it was good shit.
Yeah, it was awesome to see it come, like, each show we played, and like, I think every show we played, regardless of the turnout, there was at least 1 or 2 people there that were actually there to see us, and that was awesome, considering we. You can only do so much promo and stuff online and whatnot, and the fact that we hadn't been to Europe before and whatnot, and so we basically are a nobody, to a certain extent there. So it was awesome to at least have some people know who we are and say hello.
That was crazy.
That was the best thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool to hear, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. In pretty much every country that we played, people had come out specifically to see us, which. Not only just the local show, but like they came up to us. But yeah, Russia and Ukraine and the whole of the Baltics were easily the craziest. It was crazy. We just did not expect like those turnouts or the amount of people who we felt we felt famous. Like after the show, we just got photos with everyone, and it was nice. It was nice. And then we come back to Perth and no one gives a shit.
but you always hear that, because again, like every time, because I was like, when you go to Europe, like, and you're from Australia, like you're all exotic, you're going to be exciting. Yeah. They have to come out and check out these guys. They're from a completely different continent on the other side of the world and stuff. So, but it's
a lot of the time we're like, what are you doing here? We're like, well, we wanted to come play the Ukraine. They're like, why? This place is a shithole. I'm like, dude, this place is amazing. Because the weather was garbage the entire time we're over there. So we're like, yeah, they were like shocked that we were even there.
What time of year was it?
March, April, yeah, I think it was. April, June, I think. April, May. I can't remember. It's
so it was still a bit of
yeah.
So it was still a little bit cold, sort of coming out of spring.
Yeah, it got to like -4. That's as cold as it. We got snow. We got snowed on. It was the first time a lot of us have seen snow as well. So
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, there's a video on our Facebook page, because I took a lot of time, like a lot of spare time. I was just making little videos and posting them just about experience and whatnot. And there's a video there of us seeing a lot of the boys seeing snow for the first time
in Poland.
In Krakow.
Krakow, yeah. Krakow, yeah.
And just if you ever get a chance, go on there and have a look, because DJ, our guitarist, he's literally like crying with like joy. It's quite cute. We're meant to be like a hard ass metal band, but it's not to come across that way.
Oh, that's you. Like, it's quite magical, especially living in Perth, where there's not a single chance you'll ever see snow. So look, it's so different for me. Obviously, I grew up in Europe. Like for me, coming here, it's like, oh, you haven't seen snow? It's no big deal. So I want to see it. So well, yeah. Anyway, it's cool to hear that it was, and you actually got to see it, because that time of year it's highly unlikely to actually have snow.
Yeah, we were surprised that it just came out of nowhere. Really, I think we were sitting out in the balcony in one of the places we stayed up there, and I was like, "Is that snow?" And then all of a sudden we're all straight out the door downstairs, and then straight into the snow, chucking snowballs at each other.
We're chucking dirt balls at each other. Yeah. It wasn't snowing enough to like throw snowballs, so we're just throwing balls of dirt. There were icy balls of dirt.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes the funny thing about snow, sort of depending on the actual temperature, it sort of determines whether the snow stays or whether it is something you can actually, it literally just melts and just becomes this really sort of sludge kind of thing. But
there's more sludge, yeah.
Did you write your name in the snow?
No, I'm sure Gareth did, but I'm sure maybe.
That's the good old yellow snow cones. None of that.
No, none of that. No.
Cool. But so what's sort of in the cards in regards to gigging next? Because I remember you like just before we went live, you guys were talking about you were still planning on maybe booking some stuff for next year.
Yeah. So we're planning to go back to Japan again. This time more on our own, like as us as a headliner or a main act.
Yep.
Yeah. So the last time, couple of times we've been, we've been support acts and for hypocrisy and whatnot. So this time around, it's more on I wouldn't say maybe a smaller scale, but a local level. So it's us as the headlining act. So that's the plan anyway.
That'll be good, I reckon.
And we'll probably look at wanting to go back to Europe next year again, maybe towards the end of the year again.
We get a lot of people asking us to go back to Europe, which is awesome. And we really want to, because especially like Germany, I want to do like 2-3 weeks in Germany alone, because Germany,
they're nuts, man.
Insane. Yeah, it's insane. So I want to do that. I want to do the Baltics again.
Yeah, I'll do Ukraine again.
I'll do Ukraine again, or Russia, or both. But I don't know how that's going to go, because it keeps getting worse and worse over there. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but I just want to do it all.
Yeah, we had that's obviously another thing that works. Like we'd love to go to South America, do something over there. I had been speaking to a guy I think before we went to Europe about going over to South Africa. Actually, I was talking to him about that. So that's possibly on the cards as well.
I want to do America.
The States as well. I think we might be talking about the States as well. There's a whole bunch of possibilities we're looking at for sure, but we hate just sitting here twiddling our thumbs. We love getting out and doing things, and
once I get rid of Trump, then we'll do America. I want to go over there while Trump's president.
You might have to wait 4 years then.
Nah, fuck. God, I hope not. Anyway, let's get at it. No politics talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where are you from in Europe? I'm curious.
Danish.
Oh, cool.
Danish. Cool. So it's a great spot to go to. It's very small though. So again, like it's a lot of travel to sort of go up, and you could play a gig in Copenhagen. You could possibly play a gig in Aarhus, which is the second largest city. But other than that, like it's only really if you ever get to like northern Germany that you would probably bother going up there and sort of playing Scandinavian. But look, they do love the metal, especially Sweden. Sweden has got so many huge metal bands. I think you mentioned Hypocrisy before. Yep. So they're obviously a big Swedish act.
We chose not to go to Scandinavia because we're like not black or death metal, or because I do a lot of clean vocals. I was like,
they like that too, man. No, they're definitely, 100%, man.
Next time when I go, because I was like, I feel like that no one's gonna like us over there. They'll be, because we played. Who do we play? We played Marduk.
Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they from? And Karak Angren. Where are they?
They're Danish as well. No, they're
from the Netherlands. Sorry.
It's like Belgium or something, or France maybe. I'm not sure.
So I guess that experience, like I was just like, I felt like they looked at us like they wanted to eat us, basically. Like,
really?
Like they were just these giant Nordic fucking long blonde hair, just these big dudes. And we were like, I was singing and they were looking at me and I was just like, I was physically scared. They were just terrifying. That's it. No one from like the Scandinavian countries is going to like our music at all. But if you're saying otherwise, I'm putting my life in your hands.
It's on me, man. I was about to say, I can definitely put you in contact with people there that can sort of suss you out if that's the case. If it is something you're interested in,
we'll go to Europe. We'll go to Europe at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, there's plenty of places where we'll revisit, and there's a whole bunch of places that we'd love to go that we haven't been before. Yeah, it's it's it. We'll play anywhere. We'll play your bedroom. We'll do anything.
Please don't.
You can do that by yourself. He's going to do an acoustic set in your bedroom for you.
Sounds romantic. I think sort of depending on the time, there might be a couple of toddlers in the bed as well. They usually wake up at about 10:30. I've got a couple of little boys, so. They like the metal though. We teach them well, so
good
stuff, man. But so in regards to actually, I'm curious to hear that about the last two you did as well. Did you do that as your own sort of solo gig, and you had local support, or were you supporting a couple of local bands in order to sort of get another crowd in?
Pretty much 90% of the tour was all us as a headlining band. I think maybe one gig in Lithuania, we actually jumped on a show. That was the headlining act was Awakening Sun. Actually, I think they're quite a well-known Lithuanian band, and they were awesome. And that was that was a night in itself. That place, but that was the only other time. Everything else was just we were the main act and had support bands playing.
That's so cool, man.
It was awesome. We had what was it? It was
Ukraine. There was the
Ramstein cover band.
Yeah.
Wow. Which was it was really good. So they were before us, and they played like an hour because they did like a set of Rammstein and then a set of originals.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was a weird place, because we rocked up there and the guys like, the venue's upstairs. So we walked up and we walked into like this kind of like dining area like this. It was like all crystal white tiles, all like white furniture, and people having dinner or getting ready to have dinner and stuff. Like it was all table booked and all that, and then there was like a floor stage. And I was like, what the hell is that? I was thinking, are we in the right room? So yeah, put your gear over there, blah, blah, blah. And then we literally did sound check in front of everyone pretty much having dinner.
It was really random. But they fed us as well. They fed us some of the nicest vodka and meat I've ever had.
Yeah, we were looked after really well.
It was really random.
Like I said, the Ukraine was the best thing. Like the amount of the places we played at, the people who looked after us, the promo that was done for that particular place. So there was a banner literally in the town centre with our poster on it, like a massive, huge banner hung up along this railing.
They did.
Remember
they did. They actually did advertising on
the billboard and everything. It was ridiculous. I don't know if this guy is like in with the politics or something. He's got a foot in the door somewhere, but it was crazy.
Amazing, man.
It was like, I'm like, are you serious? Like,
the best part about that though was that on the banner, and there's a photo proof of this, that it said Tempest Rising thrash metal, except they had left the H out of thrash, so it said Tempest Rising trash metal. And we were like, we pulled up in the van and we took a photo with it. We were like, fuck it. It was so good. And they were like, the letters were so expensive. Like, right, mate. Yeah, right. It was so good.
Man. So did you get some big crowds there?
Yeah, the place was packed. It was so good.
Yeah. It was
amazing, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was the weirdest place ever. It was literally like playing in a restaurant, like almost like just everyone's having dinner, talking, and all of a sudden just this big loud drums, guitars. Like, sorry, we're just doing sound check right in front of it, and no more than 5-10 meters away from us as well, like looking directly at you as they're eating it.
I did go and stand on the table while they were, because there's like people coming up. Like it was really really random, but the tables, they went down like 30 meters or something. Yeah. So it was quite a long room, And so I got the mic and I jumped up onto a chair and onto one of the tables and, screamed at a few people. It was nice.
That's awesome, man. But how do you go with the backline and all that?
Yeah, we pretty much borrowed a lot of stuff. We were lucky enough to pretty much, that was kind of one of the things we said to Michael when booking it, saying that we're going to be pretty much taking the bare minimum as it is, because, you know, we're pretty much taking public transport, you know, to a certain extent, you know, or, you know, getting a car. We're not going to get a van or a bus or anything like that. It's going to be a car, so we're going to be traveling quite light. So basically we took basically the drummer, Matty, had his snare and cymbals, and I think he has kicks in a suitcase. I had one guitar, DJ had one guitar, Jade had one guitar.
I had nothing.
He had nothing. And we all, like me and DJ, bought these little Vox mini amps. They're 50 watt. They run off like one tube. It's like the latest technology, something like that, $300 or whatnot. But they're literally like big. You could almost put it in your pocket pretty much. And for what size venues we were playing and whatnot, it was perfect to have. You can crank them quite loud and you, even if at 9 or 10, whatever. If you weren't allowed, it was loud enough. Put it that way. If you were 9 or 10, you were loud. So. So that was perfect for us. Jared had his little bass head as well. So we had everything kind of dialed down, ready for what we needed. We were fortunate. We didn't have any, I don't think we had really any problems at all. We just made, we're pretty relaxed as a band. We'll play with anything, you know. If you know, Matt was one of the kind of drummers that play. If he had a hi hat and a snare, he'd play a set with just those, you know. He'd make. We all did. Like, there was some of the places we played at were we just had using house gear and whatnot, and wasn't big stuff. And some of the venues weren't massive, so they didn't require half stacks and you know, big dual rectifiers and stuff like that. So we would make and do what we did, but we're not those kind of people that just go, I don't want to play that, or, you know, request certain things. We're happy to play, you know, regardless of what we're doing. Maybe later down the track, when we can afford to take all that gear and be a bit more antsy about all that stuff, and, you know, don't touch this and don't touch that. But that's not us. You know, we're happy to lend a hand when we can, and we're grateful that we get when people give us opportunities to borrow their stuff.
But that's probably also something, again, like if you are planning on going back, you know, maybe that is something you could sort of have planned in advance, where you can actually borrow some better gear to take around, or hire, sort of worst case if it came to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, it was the first time we'd done something to that extent. So there's a lot of things that we learned that we could do better next time, or places that we probably don't have to go again, and maybe pick a bit more of a specific route to go to make life a lot easier. We're pretty fortunate being Australian, being Australians with the not having to get many visas and whatnot to go through most of those places. I think
people trust Australians
somehow.
People trust
True. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So Ukraine and Russia were the only two places that we actually had to apply for visas, and I'll fill you in on that. Russia is quite. If anyone ever wants to go to Russia, let me know, because that was a mission in itself to get.
Well worth it. The Russian shows were boring.
Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely, it made it. Once we played the shows, I thought it was all worthwhile for the stress and stuff I had, but to do it. But yeah, it is an expensive exercise, because you can't just stay in Airbnbs and stuff like that. In order to get visas and whatnot, you need to show proof of where you're staying and whatnot. So you have to book. We did a lot of it through a travel agent, like that area.
Right.
But yeah, you have to show kind of your way in, your way out, where you're staying. They want to know everything about it. You've got to fill out a 5-page form. Everyone's got to fill out this 5-page form, basically, you know, your job occupation, your mum and dad's name, you know, have you had any criminal offences? They go full to town. Yep. You have to do all that. And you have to not lose your passport before going as well, you know. So that
you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah, I found it. So I lost my passport like, I don't know, was that 3 weeks or 2 weeks before?
No, it was like a month before, but yeah.
Yeah, I lost it, right? And then as I went and paid $500 to get it immediately replaced, I said to my partner, I said, I'm gonna find it. And lo and behold, 24 hours later, I found it in the bag I'd already looked in. I don't know how I missed it. So yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that was yeah. We had to send our passports off to Sydney to the Russian embassy. So like we had to literally like I was the most nerve-wracking couple of weeks there because like they pretty much don't give a fuck. Like if you don't have you basically like we had to fill out this form. Everyone that went to fill out the form. Send I think it was might have been 120 Australian dollar bank check per visa. A copy of our physical passport, and passport.
So you had to send your physical passport over there as well.
Passport, yeah, this is
fuck.
Yeah. In a express post bag or whatever, with a return bag already addressed back to you, and send it off. And they only work 3 days a week, I think, and they only work half days as well. So, and because we paid for communism. We did like not the express. It was something ridiculous because I think it was $130 odd $40 for just the general kind of admission thing over 7 days or whatever to get it accepted. The express one was like $600 something per visa. So there was no way we were going to do that.
Fuck.
And then the day they receive the visa doesn't count as a day of processing, so you lose a day there as well. So with him losing his passport, we had to send the details back off to.
We're going to lose it down.
Yeah, I'm like, because it always. I always had a nervous breakdown for it. It was so.
Hey man, I was just putting you through your paces so you become a stronger man.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Right, it was yes, exactly.
Yeah, so and that was the thing. Like, and that's to say that they could just deny it as well. So you'd be waiting around, and then we have to get all 5 green lights for all 5 of us to go. As soon as they deny one person, you're like, well, fuck, is it even worth going? And we'd already paid money for the train from Helsinki into St. Petersburg. We already paid money from the flight out of Moscow into Latvia.
Considering the amount of things that could go wrong, it all went very well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Except when 2 of our band members got held up at the airport in Russia and vanished.
Oh, really?
For like an hour. We had no idea where they went. They just disappeared. And we're like, in Russia. We're like, well, that's them dead. Let's continue on our travels and pretend we didn't know them.
Russia happened in 48 hours, basically. We literally, I think we got out of, we caught the ferry from Estonia into Helsinki.
Yeah.
We were pretty much wrecked by those few Latvian shows. We played the Latvian shows 3 in a row, and then we had a couple of nights off, but most of those nights were pretty much just absolute benders of nights. And we're staying in a hostel.
Don't tell too much.
Yeah.
What happens in Europe stays in Europe.
DJ Matty knew the bloke who run the hostel, so we practically got free accommodation for those couple of days. Gave us a bar card as well, so we were drinking $2 pints and €2 pints and €4. I think it was like €8 for 12 shots or something stupid like that as well. So most nights were pretty reckless, and they. There's a hostel, so like Monday night they're doing karaoke, Tuesday night a game night. They're doing,
we can safely say that during this period of time, one of our members gave up alcohol forever.
Yeah.
And so halfway through the tour, and to this day,
still hasn't touched a drop.
Has not touched a drop of alcohol. That's how wild it got.
Yeah.
But no more, okay? It'll be on the extended DVD edition of something that we release in the future.
Yeah, so so I think we left Helsinki, I think early hours in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning, catch a train. That was nerve-wracking in itself because, like I said, done all this work halfway through the tour, got everything sorted. Last thing I want to do is get stopped on the train and not let into Russia for whatever reason. Not that we had a reason to, but it was just like, we all this hard work and done into it. I was thinking the worst, I was expecting the worst, hoping for the best. So They did a check fine. I think they didn't even. It was pretty daunting. The guys, the Finnish guys, checked passports and stuff at the start on the train, and then I think when you cross the border, it stops in like kind of this like no man's land, and then all these Russian custom officers get on there with AKs and whatnot, and you're sitting there going, "Oh God." And then,
don't look suspicious.
Am I looking suspicious like that?
Where to open up all the guitar cases and shit?
I had to go back down the back. It was funny. Like, maybe open up all the guitar cases. Tell them like a rough value of what the stuff was.
Mind you, I was asleep, just chilling there because I don't have any gear. Become a vocalist, everyone.
They let us through fine and whatnot, and yeah, we got in St. Petersburg probably would have been around lunchtime, and we literally got to the hotel, dropped all our stuff off. A couple of the boys caught up on sleep and whatnot. Me and Vin actually went out with the promoter that was doing the night. He took us out. We went sightseeing for 4 or 5 hours. We bought him lunch. We went around, bought some awesome places.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
So
and then he literally come back. We picked all the guys up. We went straight to the venue. And we were at the venue from 7 o'clock till I think we got back in the car at like 3 in the morning.
Was that massive venue?
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
That was
crazy because it was a big venue, and I thought it reminded me of Amplify Bar here in Perth. Like it was the old one before the bowling alley and stuff like that. It was that kind of size.
Yep.
If you took the wall out that separated the courtyard and the stage, it was all quite. And I was a little bit worried because I'm like, well, fuck man, like the Russians don't really use Facebook at all. They're like, the couple of Facebook events we had on there was like literally just us going. So I'm like, fuck, what's this going to be like? And we're going to play the no ones. It's a big venue. It's going to feel like shit. And I remember going, I think I ducked off somewhere. I think I might have gone out the front or something like that. And then I was having chatting to a couple of the other guys, and I must have been out there for a little while, and then come back inside, and I just looked and went, "What the hell?" It was packed, like it was like a Friday night at Amps, like it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" So that was awesome, and we it was a killer show. It was some awesome. The bands on that lineup was really good. Everyone complimented each other. It was more our genre. Maybe even we were probably more of the heavier band of the night as well. So it was good mixture of bands, and
there was like a full-on nu metal band.
Full nu metal band, like in the jumpsuits and stuff like that.
That's so good.
That were cool. And we
nice, man.
It was about 2-3 o'clock. We were back in the car, straight back to the hotel. Slept for 2-3 hours. Back up again, straight to the train station. Back on the train into Moscow.
Yeah, no rest, man.
No rest. And then we were literally Moscow. Dropped our stuff at the hotel, waited around an hour, got a taxi straight to the venue.
Man, the venue there was tiny, but the owner, as soon as we got there, he immediately took us out the back, and he just had like vodka and food and shit all laid out for us, and we're just like drinking. We're like at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're just like,
I was pissed before we even did sound check. Like we hadn't even got our gear out. Like we got into this like. It was the weirdest thing because like we had no Wi-Fi, no internet, everything. It was for the 2 days we were in Russia. It wasn't worth the hassle. So we were literally going off by screenshots and stuff and trying to the taxi driver didn't speak any English to try and show where we are and all that. So we got to the vicinity of the area where we were playing, and we just went for a walk around the block, and then there's this guy, big beard, bikey looking dude almost, and he like looks at us and then waves, and I'm going, oh god, what have we gotten into? Like, oh no, we're gonna get rolled here or murdered or something like that. And he took us. Like the venue was out the front, but he took us through like a side door, which was like a construction site, and it was always like a back tunnel to the venue, and it was weird. It was like just the weirdest thing, and then he opened this door and there's like just a table full of fruit and vodka and all that. And the owner of the bar, a shot, cool, no worries. Another shot. And it was within the space of 20 minutes, there was 3 bottles that were empty. I reckon it was just crazy. Yeah. And
then they took us to the Red Square. Like they had, was it Natalia?
No, it wasn't her.
I swear to God, her name was Natalia. Pretty sure it was Natalia. She did like I think it was his partner.
Yeah, partner or friend, of the
she just like was like, all right, we're going to check out the Red Square. And so we just walked to the Red Square and just like chilled out there. One of the boys was looking for a hat, one of them big Russian fluffy hats.
Yeah.
He ended up buying one, but just not. They were super expensive. It was insane.
Yeah, it was like we didn't even expect that either. Like he'd already organised to take us in there, so we literally walked down to the train to the metro area, and then took the train into the Red Square, and had a look there, took photos, did a look around, and then he's like, yeah, to make sure they're back by this time to play the show, and we were back again. So it was literally getting treated like we were like a massive band. So it was
that's so cool to hear, man.
Yeah, it was awesome, and that was a big night. When that night finished as well, everyone was just getting absolutely plastered, and that was a struggle because that was even later. I think you guys left a bit earlier.
I'm pretty sure it was just me.
Well, you left, yeah. I think Vince left early, and the rest of us we stayed, and I reckon it was about 4:00, 4:30 by the time we got in the taxi, and then I think we got back to the hotel, had a shower. And then
a couple hours sleep.
No, it was no hour. It was probably an hour and a half, and then we had to be down to the lobby again. And then literally we were back at the airport, and then waited for the that's another story. Yeah, so we boarded a plane. Orange Goblin actually played in Russia at the same time as us. So when we were boarding the Air Baltic flight, there was Orange Goblin loading all their gear in front of us, then there was us with all our gear, and then there was another band from somewhere else behind us. It was 3 bands getting ready to go load on this plane. And so we basically we waited. I told the boys I was having an argument with the lady about the extra luggage that I booked, because I knew, because some of the places we couldn't book extra luggage and some we could, and I wasn't too sure what we were going to have and whatnot. So I was arguing. I said, look, I booked it, and I told the guys, I said, just go through, we'll meet you up at the gate. And I said, drop the gear off at Oversize and we'll meet you at the gate. And so they disappeared and argued for 5 or 10 minutes and bit the bullet. She wasn't budging, so I paid whatever it was, €30, whatever excess it was, and then left. And we went and dropped Matt's stuff off at the Oversize place, and the guys weren't there. So I thought, oh, sweet, they've gone through. So
yeah, I remember this.
So me and Matt have walked through, and got to the checkpoint for the passports. I've gone first. The ladies looked at my passport, looked at it a little bit longer than normal, and then gone, no, all good, stamped it, sent me through. I looked back at Matt, said, yeah, I'll see you up there. No worries, cool. So I went up to the top of the escalator, waited 5 minutes, nothing. I thought, I'm going to go see where the other guys are. Walked the whole terminal, could not find any of these guys either. I was like, oh shit, no Wi-Fi, can't connect to the, where are you, nothing. So I'm like walking around like a freaking homeless kid, freaking out. Go back to the escalator thinking they're coming up. I think you and Jared come out of the toilet. They'd go on the toilet. So I was like, have you seen Matty and DJ? No, I thought they were you guys. And I thought, nah, Matt was with me, but I haven't seen him come up. And DJ hadn't come up with them. So we waited. Still waited, nothing. The boarding starts for our flight. I'm going, oh no, like 10 minutes to board, 5 minutes to board, looking down, still nothing. I'm thinking, fuck, does travel insurance cover like missing flights because we've been held up in customs? Like, what's going on? Like that, oh shit, like that. Boarding flight, first call. I'm like, oh God, what's going on? And then next minute Matty and DJ come up the escalator all like wide-eyed and like freaking out. What the hell happened to you? Oh, but we got taken away, interrogated, because they must have looked at, obviously with the current climate with Ukraine and Russia not getting along, we had to fly out of Russia into Latvia and then Latvia into Ukraine. Right. So we know our itinerary of where we were going. They were basically, Matt, DJ was saying, they were pointing the finger and why are you going to Ukraine? Are you a hippie? And why are you doing this? And why, like, full on interrogate. I think more just scare tactics than anything. Or someone having a bad day and releasing their anger out. So they come up. We literally run to the gate and then we were literally in Kiev, Ukraine. I think 2:00 we checked into the Airbnb by then, and that was Russia just like that. Like, it was crazy.
And I want to get back to that.
And that would have been with a massive hangover at the same time, I'm assuming.
No. So we didn't have. I reckon you guys didn't have a hangover until we got back. I reckon you just kept. I think you were drunk, perpetually drunk the entire time. Like legit. It was so. No, it was more. I think more exhaustion, if anything. Really, like I think a couple of us said, we'll wait for the flight out. We were sleeping at the KFC in the terminal. Slept on any surface that would allow us to.
we were lucky. We had 2-3 days in Kiev before we actually started the 5 Ukraine shows in a row. So we had a couple of days to kind of just do nothing and just veg out for a little bit, and which is what we needed after going through that bender of a weekend in Russia. So, but Ukraine was like we said, Ukraine was awesome. We'd been advised to organise a driver for that because we were like, we'll just find our way around. And the guy's like, no, I won't let you do it. Pay the money. It worked out to be, I think it was $2 200 Australian a head for a driver for the 5-6 nights really. And that covered fuel, and we just bought him some food here and there, and he literally slept in the van for most of the places. A couple of the places we stayed at gave us accommodation, so we actually he stayed with us and whatnot, and we actually had a tour. I guess what would you call him?
We got a tour. It was a tour guide. Slash he tried to hook up. Was it a couple of the boys? Remember calling them gigs? There was some lovely young ladies at a couple of the gigs, and remember which show was that?
Oh man, that's a blur.
Actually, probably shouldn't be saying this. Anyway, he was good, dude. Actress, he's probably watching. Or
he's probably writing. He's a big fan of us. He loves us. He was devastated when we left.
Next time we come back, he'll be definitely seeing him again.
Yeah, so he was kind of our English interpreter, so to speak, as well. So we'll never let him live it down. The time when we tried to order McDonald's and we asked for basically at this time we were all.
It's crazy.
We were starving. We just all wanted the quarter pounder equivalent of whatever it was, and I was pointing at the board, explaining this is what we want, and we ended up with, I think
he ordered us 2 sets of chips, each. Like, as in, you go through drive-through, everyone wants 2 packets of chips each.
Yeah,
no burgers, just 2 packets of chips. And then we got it, and we were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I forgot our racist Jared, almost made him cry with how angry Jared was. He was just like, that he was so pissed off. And we're like, no one orders 2 packets of chips. No one. I don't care where you're from. Yeah, there was a bit of tension there, I think.
The roads there, they're pretty crazy. Like, we're in a van, and it literally was hats off to the driver. I don't know how he does it, but it literally. So we're traveling, like the distances between towns were only maybe 500 k's, like a couple, 3-4 hour drive. But they were literally taking 8-9 hours to drive because we were going no more than 40-50 k's on most roads. We played into some real, I guess, like our equivalent, probably like maybe Bunbury or even further down, or something, maybe Geraldton or something like our equivalent of that. And the road condition there was literally, you spend most of the time driving on the wrong side of the road, just dodging potholes and damaged roads and stuff like that. So we were literally we're just doing this at 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to sleep.
If you weren't asleep, you'd end up feeling sick.
Yeah, you just headbutt the seat in front of you there, and it was just it was a good getting out of the places that we got to stay the night were the best. I think we had to drive back. I think after we played the first show in Kiev, the second show we had to leave that night, so we played the show, and then we were in the van by 1 o'clock, and we were at that was the longest drive, I think, that one, and I think maybe the one coming back as well. We were fortunate for the couple of other places. We had places to stay, so we didn't have to worry about the drive at night, but they were pretty brutal.
That was good. It was good.
Yeah. But I would, if you're going to Ukraine, get yourself a translator and get yourself a driver, because I would not recommend anyone doing that at all.
I was about to say, it almost gives me anxiety just listening to the fact that you are in this crazy country, you cannot speak the language, they don't understand what you're saying, and you got no Wi-Fi, no phones, man.
Ukraine, I think we saw something out.
I reckon the scariest place was Poland. There was a venue we played, and it wasn't far. It was only 2.5 from where we were staying. And so the boys all went early, and I stayed back just to chill. And then I decided just to walk there instead of getting an Uber, because I was like, it's only 2.5. But as I was walking there, I heard gunfire and shit, and I was just like, am I gonna die in some rural town in Poland? So I messaged James because we bought like in Poland we have like Polish Sims.
Religiously, every place we went to, the first stop was to find a tech shop to buy a new SIM card.
Yeah. I texted James like, dude, if I die tonight, man, just go on without me. And his text back was like, yeah, sure, no worries, bro. But he did not give a shit.
We walked back that night as well.
We did. But we were also drunk, so like we didn't care.
Yeah,
at that point. Yeah.
But anyway. Did you have some good travel insurance when you went over there?
Yeah, we had travel insurance. Put it that way. I don't know what it would have covered, but yeah, we I don't think it was stupidity when drunk, but we had all that. We had all that. That was a necessity for sure. Like I guess like myself personally, help setting this up, and I've invested a lot of time and helped out the boys and stuff where we could with finances and stuff like that, where I could as well. So I had a lot of that invested into it. So I was kind of the parent for the 4 kids really. The only couple of times I got let my hair down was when I think when we were in Estonia and we had a couple of days off. Even then I was still kind of just tweaking a bit because of Russia. I think the only other time I actually got loose was probably was Greece when we were in the final destination. I pretty much said, fuck you to all you guys, and if you lose your passport or get arrested, it's your problem. I don't care. I've got my ticket home. I'm fucking going home, So look, it was all part of the fun. If I got the opportunity to do it again, we probably wouldn't change the thing. You get drunk, you get a little bit crazy. As anyone would know, you kind of just don't think straight and stuff like that. So I didn't drink much for most of those places we were doing, and I was kind of the negotiator to, I had everything I had sorted pretty much everything out. I knew where we were going, where we were going to be, what time, and all that. So I couldn't really do anything like that. So and like we didn't like there was probably only 1 or 2 times throughout the whole tour where we actually where we kind of maybe got on the nerves, surprisingly, like.
And you were there for 6 weeks.
We were good. Yeah, we were good. There was only there was 2, but we can't talk about those.
Yeah.
But the other people aren't here, so we can't be like, it's all good. We're fine. Everything was fine.
But so you were talking about finances in general. So how did you finance this tour? And did you make some money as you were for any of the gigs, or were you selling merchandise or anything?
Yeah, we did.
I'll tell you what, selling drugs is really good. You can really make a lot of money out of that.
We sold out of merchandise almost immediately.
Yeah, we
So if you do go over to Europe, but what we'll do next time is we'll organize merchandise to be made there.
Yeah.
And so absolutely. Yeah.
Like I said,
we just took all of our shit.
Yeah, we because like I said, everything happened so quickly and whatnot. I said there's a lot of things we'd do differently next time, and merch would be another thing we'd organise over there. I guess because we didn't know, we were kind of just we were playing it by ear as things were getting booked and as we were booking stuff and all that. So it was just kind of everyone just give me whatever you can give me to do it and all that. So we got the main things booked. I actually took out, to make life a lot easier, I've got a credit card for it all, basically, and then I just allowed me to be able to book stuff straight away when we needed to. If there was a deal going on, if I needed to sort something out then and now, I could just do it. And then I just told the guys, look, this is what it's going to cost or whatever. And then I said, just, transfer the money over when you can, kind of thing. So, look, it was, we made the money we made in there. We used while we were there.
Not on alcohol.
Yeah. I think we used some band money in Greece, I think, to buy alcohol. That's about it, really. But
it was so cheap.
But yeah, a lot of it we just used it to get around if we needed to, or buy food or something like that, just to kind of keep it off air. A few of us were lucky. Maybe I was the only one that was lucky that was actually using the tour as annual leave anyway. So I was getting paid. Yeah, I had finances coming through anyway. So and I said to the guys from the get go, if we've got to live off one paycheck, my paycheck, whatever, we've got to do it. I'm not one of those guys who's like, no, everyone to their own. You sort your own money out, kind of thing like that.
We spent a ton. We weren't we did a lot of sightseeing as well. Like, so we spent a lot of money on, like, me, you, and Jared went and checked out Auschwitz.
We did Auschwitz, yeah.
And we went and checked out Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Like, we on our spare time, we didn't sit around. We just, like, went everywhere. And I went, like, me and Jared went to, like, all of the, I know it sounds a bit lame. Actually, I probably won't say it. Nah, don't worry about it. It's all good. We didn't check out any of the museums.
Yeah.
We didn't look at any of the museums at all. That was not something we did.
Yeah, it probably didn't help that we like when we flew into Berlin. That's like we had a gig obviously booked for Berlin. That's the reason why we flew in there, and that ended up getting cancelled not too long before we flew out. So we had like a week in Berlin, literally doing nothing really. Well, no gigs or anything like that. So we actually picked up a show in Poland with, I think it might have been a different Ukrainian band. I think maybe they were doing a tour and stuff like that. So we actually jumped on that one, but that involved us having to get a car somewhere to stay for the night. So we actually obviously probably outlaid more money than we planned for that. So there was a lot of little things here and there that cropped up that we probably didn't foresee, or
we just treated it as like an experience, Like, so we just did all of the things
we could. Yeah,
we didn't hold back. We just did everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would recommend that for sure.
So going back, so if you are planning on sort of going back next year, what would sort of be one of the main things that you would do different?
We'd like plan the shows more specific, so we wouldn't have as much time in between for sure.
Yeah,
it'd be a shorter tour and a more like intense tour. So we wouldn't go for sightseeing. We would go for like say 3 weeks and play shows like almost every night, like say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe a Sunday if there's like an all ages show, and just smash it out. 2 days rest, smash it out. And we do like say Ukraine, we did 5 shows in a row. So we do maybe not Ukraine, but we would love to go back to Ukraine. But like Scandinavia, the Baltics again, Germany. Like as we're saying, Germany is a huge, it's a massive country. It's not. But like it's so dense, so there's so many places to play. We could do a week, we could do 2 weeks in Germany, but 5 shows in Germany, blah blah blah. So it'd be shorter but way more intense, which is fine because it'd be less of a sightseeing tour and more of like a fucking
Well, do a lot of bands, if they're sort of doing like the western side, like they're doing Germany, you got Belgium, Holland, those sections there, because they're so easy to get to because they're quite small countries, and they love the metal as well.
The western side would be awesome to do for sure. That's probably it'd be definitely an option we would look at. Like Vince said, basically the main thing we'd probably do is condense it more. I think in 6 weeks we played I think nearly 20 shows. So, and it was I guess it all boiled down to like what we can book and what's available during the week and whatnot, as well as obviously your Thursday, Friday, Saturday is your kind of prime time shows. Your Sunday's a bit catch-22 on that, and there was probably only a handful of shows we played over the 6 weeks that were actually during the week, So, we definitely condense it as best as we can and do it as much as we can with it. So,
is that Atris?
Yeah.
So Atris just messaged James saying, was it thanks for remembering Ukraine?
I noticed him. I noticed him on the chat. He's sort of giving a bit of shout out from Ukraine.
We love him.
That's big, man. There's something I was going to ask just on the back end of what you were just saying there. Oh yeah, sorry. And obviously going back, you got to sort the merch out. Sort it locally, man.
Yeah. We literally we're stoked that it sold out, but we're like, shit, we should have printed it. We should have brought like 400 times more. So next time we're going to do it was also because a reason we didn't print stuff is because it costs so much, and we weren't sure if we were going to, Like we didn't want to have to bring it all back. So we're kind of like, we'll just bring what we've got. We've got a ton of stuff. We're glad that we sold it out. But next time, especially now knowing there'll be people at these shows a lot more than we expected, we'll be doing like European merch specifically for Europe. Yeah. So
definitely something that we'd outlay that in a budget that we're looking at. Like I said before, like if the option was there to either print a whole bunch of merch or have some money put aside for whatever, for an emergency. We probably would have taken just the emergency money because
we were still recording. No, we were going into recording. We were at the end of the recording or something. We were still in the process because we'd released the album after we came back.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. We were doing the album all before this as well. So that's half the reason why it took so long.
It was just money everywhere. Fucking throwing it everywhere.
That's a big reason that album took as long as it did. It's a lot of money to outlay for starters, and then we're not one of those bands that kind of just goes, we're going in a recording studio for 6 months and not playing a show, and all that. We just got to keep playing shows and whatnot. So that is a reason why it took so long, because we just did the money and then we're like, fuck it, let's go to Europe, and then all of a sudden the album takes a bit of a back burner, and then let's go to Japan, and then all of a sudden get back and we're broke, so and we've got an album to finish. So we were discussing this about the singles. We were joking around saying this is the quickest we've actually written songs and gotten to a recording stage since forever.
That's true.
It's true. Pretty much from when we had the songs ready to go to when we're recording. So we're hoping to have the first single out next month, really. So the space of 4 or 5 months we've recorded and written, recorded and released, which is unheard of for us.
So have you got sort of any business plan in place in order to try and maybe recoup some of the money that you spend on studio and videos and upcoming touring as well, sort of just to try and make it a little bit more sustainable?
To be honest, over the last batch of shows we played, and when we got back from Europe and whatnot, the shows have been playing and have been good turnouts, and we've been paid. We've been looked after, and we've been selling merch as well. Our merchandise is to a point now where we're using the money to kind of the money we're making in the merch to reprint new stuff. So that's kind of paying for itself to a certain extent. I
think we're also at a stage now in Perth and elsewhere that we can, if we're headlining a show, we can ask for a certain amount of money because we can pull a certain amount of people, and where we've got some sort of stature that we whereas when we were starting out, or
even it took us a while to do it. We were and this is up to the band's decision. Any band deciding what they want to do, and it's their band. You do what you want to do. We were pretty I guess we're pretty just happy to play shows. We never really went asking around and saying, we want X amount of money or this or that to play. We're like, we'll play it, no worries, kind of thing. So
we never really worried too much about the payday.
Yeah.
But at there's a point where you've made so much leeway or headway, that you can be like, all right, so this is what, if you guys want us to headline, this is what it's going to cost you to headline. But we don't ask for much. We're not it's $2,000 and then 50% of the door sales, okay? We're not. But, there's a point where you're outlaying all this money as local bands.
Yeah.
You got to, but then as touring bands as well, you want to, you're worth something, as a band, as a musician.
Yeah,
you're worth something. And if you're reasonable, you can make a reasonable amount of money.
Yeah, the money we make, we put straight into things anyway. So it's I said the last couple of gigs, the money we had put aside was ready to put the deposit down to start recording the singles and help fund all that and whatnot. And even we had obviously shows booked for over East before COVID, and we had those flights paid for and everything as well. So we at the moment, we make money, but it just goes straight back in the band. It just helps with everyone's day-to-day life as well. Everyone still works 9 to 5, still does a job, still has hobbies, still has successes and all. So, we're all committed to it. We see the rewards we get from playing shows, and
we're not in it for the money.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
In it for the memories.
Until we make enough money. Exactly right. And the lack of memory.
The vodka. You're in it for the booze.
Yeah. And I've never had vodka like I've had in Russia and Ukraine.
That was the smoothest vodka I've ever had. It was like drinking water.
It's insane.
I've heard that. I've had a couple of other bands on the show in the past who's been touring both Ukraine and Russia, and they say pretty much the same thing. It's just nuts, man. But they also say, you know, people are super friendly and super like really, really just loves the fact that there's bands that actually want to come and play for them, like bands that aren't local bands that want to come and take time out and come and play for them.
It was so good.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so cool to hear though that the promoters had done such a good job that, you know, that they were pretty much packed crowds, man. That's unheard of.
The tour exceeded our expectations. Like we probably honestly we you know what to expect. We'll see if there was 2 people at each show, we would have been like great, awesome, you know, and we would have been happy with that. But yeah, it definitely exceeded our expectations of who we played with and who we played to as well. You know,
talent over there is really good as well. We played with not a single band that was bad, and there were some bands over there were just like they would be huge in Australia, like huge, but they were just a local band. It was crazy. Yeah.
Is there any you can remember that you can name drop? I'd love to check out all these smaller bands.
We're talking about this band. We Jitterflow. Yes, Jitterflow.
Jitterflow, yeah.
Yeah, because what we did is we ended up naming them ourselves. Yeah, Jitterflow. Yeah. Those boys are reckless as hell. Yeah. We played with them like 3 times.
They're like a 3-piece kind of like, almost like a tech, like math band. Kind of, it's real like just technical kind of stop-start kind of thing like that. And
Jitterflow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you remember do you remember the new metal band? I can't remember the name.
No, I can't remember that.
There's the ones in the jumpsuits.
Yeah. I'll message you later. I'm friends with a bunch of them on like socials and stuff. So I'll message you because they're really good. Like really good.
Yeah, wicked, man. Now, look, man, that sounds like an absolutely amazing trip. So what about so you're currently you're making this new album now, and you're gonna release a video per month. It sounds.
We're doing intense. 4 songs, so we're not releasing. We're not doing the whole album. We're gonna do 3 brand new songs, and then we're doing There's a song that we've released called Ghosts, which is quite popular. Actually, I think you played it.
Yeah, that's why we play for the intro. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that one's quite popular. And so we're doing a Ghosts Volume 2, right? Nice. Which is kind of like, so it's like a alternate version, but it's acoustic. And we're going to release that as like something different. Nice. Yeah, it just morphed. It was something else completely, and then it just morphed into this completely different song. So it's really cool. It's really cool. So 3 brand new and a Ghosts Volume 2.
With a new video as well.
Brand new video, yeah. All 4 of them are going to get a brand new video by our good friend Joe. He's Dark Spirit Photography. He's a good mate of ours. He's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of different videos. He's going to be doing them all because he's a bloody legend. And we're really looking forward to start filming those. We'll probably start filming those in the next month or less, whatever. Couple weeks. I don't know.
Fantastic. Yeah, I noticed as well on your YouTube channel. Yeah, you got some really, really cool videos in general. Like all your music video looks like you sort of really put some thought and effort into production as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's good looking content.
Yeah, we try to keep the content. Man, I hate that word. I hate the word content. Everything is content these days. Like, so we're just like, what have we uploaded recently? We uploaded anything? I don't fucking. There's so much. It's constant. Got to keep the masses happy. That's it. So yeah, we're going to try, and that's the reason. That's the reason we're doing it periodically, is to keep the flow and the interest in the band. All this effort we're putting through. We want people to appreciate it. So
yeah, if you're putting quality music, if you're putting a lot of effort into your music and your production, you got to give it. The music video side of things has got to be the same.
For sure.
Can't just do a half-assed video. So we take pride in the music that we write and that we record. Yeah. And same goes with our music videos as well. So we definitely
I think my favorite music video that we've done, it is still one of the more budget ones, but it's still my favorite is Breathe. Yeah. Did you? I think you're playing Breathe at the end of this, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to finish off on. Yeah, it looks wicked how it's shot.
Yeah, good. Actually, the same mate that. Same guy that did Ghost. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that one. We had some cool makeup artists hooking us up with some good makeup and stuff. So I want to do that again. I want to go do another makeup. Let's do it for one of these videos. Yeah, one of these videos is going to have like 7 or 8 live snakes in it. So that's pretty cool.
Shit.
Yeah, I got a snake guy.
So who's coming up with the ideas or the scripts for the videos? Is it something you're doing yourself?
I think that's mostly me, isn't it?
Yeah, predominantly. Yeah. We had a bit of a brainstorming session a couple of weeks ago at the pub, so we had a bit of ideas of what we want to do. Yeah.
The problem with all that is like we're like, let's do this and this and this. We're like, cool, yeah, that'll cost like $500,000.
Let's go and shoot it in Ukraine. So.
Yeah. So like we're trying to keep it on the lower end. We're going to try and do simple stuff, like visually, just like the band, some really good lighting. So we've got a couple of mates that we're chatting to about doing some stuff like that. But then we also want some like real powerful story-driven stuff, but simple. You want to keep it simple. So that's where Joe, he's chatting to him. And I'm also a photographer, so I sort of have like my own ideas, and then we kind of like spitball. And he's crazy, man. He'll do anything. The stuff that we've already spoken about, we're pretty keen to get out there. So,
yeah, we can. But you also like from what I could see, like you also do a bit of photography on the side, isn't it?
Yeah. So that came from the band, really. So I started doing it for fun at shows, and then I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm alright. I'll just keep doing it, and then just it sort of spiraled from there. I did a couple of gigs for other bands and stuff like that, and it's obviously it's easier when I'm at a show, playing a show. I can be like, hey guys, do you want to like take photos? But now I actually don't like doing that now, because I like to just go down and just relax before we go on stage, sort of get in the mode. So I've stopped doing that. But yeah, for a while there it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helped on tour.
Yeah, it's handy having him with his good gear. So
yeah, I was pretty much the camera guy on tour. So like all the photos and shit. That's what I was doing. Yeah.
But that's again another really cool thing. I'm just going to try and bring it up here again. Like your website, like your website looks phenomenal.
That's what I made about. Yeah. It hasn't been updated in a while though. I don't think we got to get him to fix it up for us. But yeah, you mean tempestrising.com.au?
Yep.
Yeah. He's Tech Tiger. Bit of a plug for him. Check him out. His name's Andy from Tech Tiger. He's a bloody genius. I think he just recently got engaged. He got engaged to a good friend, Rahini. She's awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, if you ever need websites developed, social media, stuff like that, Andy, Tech Tiger, bloody genius. Yeah. So he's the one that created the magic. It's very professional looking. You see the website. Yeah, you see the website, you're like, oh, these guys are professional, and then you see us, and you're like, oh, wait.
Again, like it's funny again, because most of the bands I've been talking to as well don't have a website and don't see the value in it. Have you guys seen any specific value in your website? Because it looks like, again, you've actually put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely worth having for sure. I think on the larger scale, when you're I guess submitting stuff and trying to get onto, maybe support slots or trying to apply for tours and stuff like that, it helps as well. But we have seen benefit from it. But yeah, it's definitely something to have for sure. If you can, it's not a necessity for, I guess, like a band just starting out, but for someone like us.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, someone for us, we've been around 8-9 years or so. It was probably long overdue that we didn't even have one. So I think we only got that sorted probably maybe just before we even went to Europe. So
it's a good source.
Yeah, definitely.
For fans to just go instead of Facebook, because everyone relies heavily on Facebook. So do we, right? It's where everyone goes. Oh, you're a band. Can I check out your Facebook page? Yeah, you can. And then also, check out our website. It's all to do with the band. It looks more visually appeasing as opposed to Facebook. So it's not necessary, but it's like it is from a different era, right? So it's from an era where Facebook wasn't the main thing that everyone went to. But it does make us look more professional. I think it makes bands look more professional.
There's one thing I noticed here. I'm just going to bring it back up here. You got this member zone. where you have to. This content is for members only, where you can register and log in. So I haven't registered, but can you tell us what's behind the secret door there?
No, we can't tell you. So you'll have to register.
You have to go in and register.
I can tell you, it doesn't come with nude photos from James here. It does not come with that.
That's probably good, and you probably don't even need to put that up as a disclaimer either.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, wicked. Does it contain any of those stories we can talk about on air?
It certainly does. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so there'll be like, you get like a newsletter or something, and then there's certain pieces of information that you otherwise wouldn't have. And also, like, there's some videos and stuff that I've made that are for members only. So, yeah. So, not me personally making them, because that sounded really bad. I mean, band videos. Band videos. Because when you laugh, what are you laughing at? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple of band videos that we've got in the vaults that, have yet to see the light of day. So there'll be that kind of stuff.
Fantastic. I'll just put it back up here. So everybody should go over here to tempestrising.com.au and click on the member zone, where there is some X-rated content of the band here.
It's not X-rated, it's triple X-rated.
Wow, even better. Fantastic, man. Let's see. So if anyone watching got a couple of questions, try and just start putting them in now, so we can wrap up. We could do a Q&A in about probably 10 minutes. So I was wondering, so if people that are watching or listening back to this, if they want to sort of stay on top of what's sort of happening with Tempest Rising, where should they go on your socials? Where's the best place?
Well, we post a lot of stuff on Instagram and Facebook. They're probably the best too. Yeah. Then once we update the website, it's always good to, if you do go in and subscribe to the website, you get email updates as well. But
do you send them out regularly?
We try to. Yeah. So I think we do need to be a bit vigilant with the old email address. But we also don't want to be one of those bands where you have like 7 or 8 emails in, the unread emails from, I know a couple of bands. You know who you are, bands. Stop sending me these garbage emails.
Well, are you using the emails also maybe as a sales tool to maybe try and sell merch, or try and reach out to fans, try and get them to?
I do. Yeah, when we got new merch and stuff like that, we try to do a bit of a mail out to the people we have got that have subscribed and whatnot, and give them a bit more of a first look into what we're releasing, and get a chance to pre-order anything that needs to come out. So, so that's there. So we do probably, like Vin said, we do heavily rely on your Facebook, Instagram, jump on our YouTube and subscribe as well. So you're basically updated on all the new content that we release on there as well. So we're on pretty much everything. So just Google Tempest Rising and you'll find something.
You'll also find that there is a novel called Tempest Rising.
Yes, there is. Yes,
it's about mermaids. So very heavy novel.
Really?
Yeah. When it started out, if you Google Tempest Rising, that was the first thing that came up. So we're like, oh, for fuck's sake, we're never going to live this down.
That's fantastic, man.
We've overtaken the mermaid novel, which is good.
That's a very, very good piece of information.
Yeah. I'm glad I said that out loud.
And so I've got this other sort of segment that I ask pretty much everybody who's on the show. This is about if you've got any sort of tips and tricks for any bands who might because obviously you guys have been around, as you mentioned yourself. You've been around for a lot longer than a lot of the other bands I've had on. So if there's any sort of tips and tricks, good advice, anything you could sort of say, this has worked well for us, anything you might want to share or pass on. You actually brought up quite a bit already, but if there's anything you can sort of think of.
Networking's definitely a big thing as well. Like, don't be afraid to. Like I said, we're in the genre of metal. Everyone's pretty happy to lend a hand and get along and approachable. So, definitely network when you're an early band. Just play as many gigs as possible, just to get your name out there, get out there in the scene and whatnot. I think a big thing that I was told by someone was to pretty much go hard, but be smart about it. do the things you want to do, and don't let anything hold you back. But obviously, be smart about it as well. Be active as well. At this stage, with social media, it doesn't take long for people to be forgotten, bands to be forgotten when they're not doing anything. So just keep up regular updates, content when you can, and just keep being active. Keep all these things rely on algorithms and whatnot. So if you're showing active on those platforms, people will obviously still see your content. So that's a big thing. And in this day and age as well, and I guess that's what one thing that we kind of live by. We don't like just to fall off the perch. We're just constantly doing stuff, big or small, just to stay relevant as well. And that's
I guess the only thing I would say, agreeing with everything that James just said, is as me personally, just be who you want to be. There's a lot, especially in in the local scene and just genres in general, you're sort of steered towards outwardly portraying something specific, whereas I don't think we do at all. A lot of the content that we release and the way that we are on stage, off stage, we just do what we want to do because that's what we want to do. We're not pretending to do anything or be anyone. We're just being ourselves. And I think a lot of people respect that. It does cause problems. It causes problems with other people looking in at you as an individual and as a band. But just
in what way?
Just do it. In what way? Okay, so when we first started, I don't want to get into this. When we first started, we were like, we found it really hard to find gigs because we were really unique. Like we're not our genre or the way that we sound is in Perth is very singular because I do a lot of cleans and mix between the two. So we found it really hard to find a show, and we were always put on sort of, not, I guess, bands that were like not like us, and we were like, oh, mate, like when we first started out, we were like, oh, maybe we should change our sound. People were telling us, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing this, and I was like, well, I don't want to do that because that's not what I want to do, so I'm not going to do it. And we just kept sort of slugging away at these sort of people that just kept telling us to change, and we eventually have found our own sound and whatnot. But yeah, there's a lot of outward pressure to portray a certain type of band or individual. Don't do that. Just don't do it. It's hard, don't get me wrong. Saying just don't do that is easy to say, but yeah, for sure, I would not recommend, because then you're not doing something that you love. You find halfway through your journey, you're just like, okay, well, this isn't me.
100%.
Yeah, that's personally how I've sort of seen the way that we've grown. I think we've grown as ourselves. Yeah, definitely. We haven't been told what to do. We've just done what we wanted.
No, I think that's very valuable. I've had a couple of others who's brought that up as well. And again, it makes it a lot easier to keep doing what you're doing because you don't have to try and be someone you're not. So absolutely, very, very, very true words. All right, let's try and jump over and see if we got a couple of questions here. I actually got one that was sent in earlier from Kashet. And that was he's curious to see in regards to Vin, like how you discovered your passion for the musical and theater scene that you've been a part of as well.
What a jackass! I don't even thought about. So how did I? Well, so yeah, as some people may know, I do a bit of like opera on the side, a little bit of rock opera and whatnot, musicals and stuff. I don't know how. I think so. I sort of responded to a dodgy Facebook request from this weird, crazy guy. One day, and I was like, I actually was worried. You know, when you get these messages from these randoms, they're like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this thing?" I'm like, okay, he's definitely going to murder me and wear my skin. I'm pretty sure I told my parents at the time. I was like, Mom, Dad, if I don't reply back to you in like an hour, I'm dead, and this is where I was last seen. So yeah, no, I threw this gentleman cassette. I just sort of, I don't know. I like singing, so I just sort of enjoyed it, and people kept telling me I was pretty good at it. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll keep going. And just the just singing alone is fun, and it gives me pleasure. And so I enjoy it, and the performance, the act of performing is also good fun. So when I first told people that I was playing Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, people were like, "But you're a heavy metal singer," and I was like, "Yeah, that's
my god,
oh my god, this is unnatural." And so I which is cool though, because heavy metal related to Satan and which is awesome. Hail the beast. And then there's Jesus Christ, and I was like, hell yeah. I was fairly certain I was going to be struck by lightning during that production, but I wasn't.
I actually came and saw that one.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I did front row, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw you when they were doing like the first run of Dements as well.
Oh really? Wow. Yeah. Cool.
On the opening night there.
So
that was good, man. That was wicked. No, it's good, man.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I would love to do it again. So, hopefully they bring back Jesus Christ Superstar, because I reckon it's a baller musical.
It's a huge production, man. Really, really well put together.
Platinum,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing a run of We Will Rock You at Crown Casino this year. Nice. So they're like stepping up. Yeah. So I think the tickets are almost sold out. Yeah, so it should be good.
And then we had all this COVID crap. A whole different story. So let's have a look here. There's another one here from your good friend Atris.
How bad is he?
He just said his question was, are you expected in 2021? So probably, are you planning on coming back in 2021?
Dude, he knows it. We'll be back there as soon as we can, man. We'll be back there. I'll be there tomorrow. If he pays for the flights and gets rid of COVID all by himself, I'll be there tomorrow.
Just kills all the COVID in Ukraine all by himself.
Oh, dude, as soon as we can, we'll be back.
We'll be definitely,
yeah, loved it.
Definitely.
We could. Then we got Kimmy Maxwell said, she said she bought patches, tried ironing them on. They must be sew-ons, right? Don't know if that's
I think I got all those patches for free when we got the beanies done up, so they're probably more than likely sewn onto the beanies, I think. So yeah, more than likely.
If it doesn't iron on, Kimmy, chances are it's a sew-on. Just mathematically.
It's otherwise it's got to be a pretty frail battle jacket if it rains.
Yeah. Or just, I wouldn't put it on there, to be honest. I mean, you want better bands, right? Surely. You got. Yeah. You don't want to embarrass yourself in public, Kimmy. Come on.
Nice. Then I've got a lot of just normal comments here. We've got Dentosa saying, "Love you guys. Love this interview."
Oh, thanks, man.
Then we got Frankinator Sketchart here. AMRAP is a great service for community radio stations across Australia, but we're noticing it is not being utilized by many heavy rock metal bands. Is there a reason, or is it just too hard?
Wait, what was the first bit of that?
Saying that AMRAP is a great service for community radio stations across Australia, but they are noticing that it's not being utilized by many heavy rock metal bands. Is there a reason for that, or is it just too hard?
Is it not being utilized by heavy metal bands because they choose not to play heavy metal? That's generally the reason, right? Or is this?
I guess I'm reading it out now. I'm not too familiar with how that works, like the whole AMRAP thing.
No, I don't know either.
We've done a couple of with interviews with Frank before on I think it looks after I think it's Heritage.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
the guys in Gosling.
I guess I wonder if it may, because that's I wonder it maybe might boil down to people not being aware of it as well. To be honest, I wasn't really aware of Frank's station and whatnot until we got asked to do the interview. So it could just be boiled down to that. Yeah.
So do they have a heavy metal? If they had a heavy metal like section, like a show that was dedicated to heavy metal, you know. Because I don't think because I remember doing one of the interviews, and I think we'll just put in during the normal. Yeah, always fun there though. The Gosnells. Yeah. Always, I like going out there. The first time we went out there though, again, one of them situations because it's in the middle of nowhere. I was walking through the darkness, thinking I'm going to die. I didn't obviously, but I really enjoyed it. They're a really good bunch of dudes, and we did a show. We did a interview with Cash there as well once.
Really?
Yeah, it was good.
They're doing a lot of good stuff for the local music scene for sure.
Yeah. But Gosnells has always been really good for local music. I've like ever since I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones I was referring to. Yeah, so they're like the radio station. I said on the post, ask anything. No one's asked anything weird yet? No weird shit? Well, look, you don't want to talk about it anyway. You said, can't bring that up.
Yeah, fair.
Sweet, man. Look, before we round off, have you guys, on the other hand, got any shout outs? Anyone you want to mention in particular?
I don't know.
Except for all the crazy Ukrainian boys.
I guess shout out to pretty much anyone that's come and watched us and said, go compliment us. And
what about fucking Jimmy? You're going to shout out.
Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, he got aside from one other tattoo that exists out there, Jimmy's the first real fan to get a Tempest Rising tattoo on his.
Nice.
So shout out to Jimmy for being a fucking legend. And he's inspired both James and I to get Tempest Rising tattoos. So we're going to do that in the next month.
It inspired him. I'm just joining along.
So I haven't got any tattoos. None. I'm a heavy metal vocalist, no tattoos. So my first one, I'm going to get a Tempest Rising one in a month or two. Yeah. So that's for you, Jimmy. You bloody beauty.
You should do a video, man, of you having it done, where you sit and sing a song or something. Do some content.
That's some good content right there. Nah, because I'll cry. I'll fucking cry.
No, you won't. It's not that bad. It burns a little. It burns a little bit for like, I don't know however big you want it, but
I'm getting it right on my ankle, though. Apparently, that's the worst place to get a tattoo.
I haven't got anything on my belly, but everyone that I've been talking to who's got tattoos says bellies are the fucking shittest place, man.
He's good.
I just got the inside of my arm done, and that was worse than my chest.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
It tickles. Yeah, it tickles.
That's worse. I got my chest done, and that was worse. So much worse.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely film it. We're getting it there, right? We're gonna get on the arm.
I'll film him squealing like a little girl. I've got footage of him squealing on the big drop.
Anyway, he's got to go now. He's got to go. See you guys. Have a good one.
Something for YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. Yeah. We actually did have a little last minute question we can go through here. So this is Tom Language is asking if you guys been talking about your Japanese black metal tour.
Yeah. Tom was a part of that. So yeah, that was eye-opening. First time away, and we actually played Tom with Advent Sorrow, so a black metal band with them.
Shout out to those boys.
Them and it was a US band as well. That was a fun tour. We played 6 or 7 shows all around Japan for that thing. So that was everyone.
That would be so cool, man.
They had the organizer who did it, Benneth. He made a legend of a guy, and he's the one who organised the last one we did. And they have Benneth and the crew there. They're awesome. They actually haven't done a tour since that long. Tour that big since. So we were quite fortunate that I think it was 6 shows or something like that, and all the ones they've been putting on lately have been 2, 3, 4 maximum. He just said they obviously the logistics side of it was a bit harder than normal, but it was good. We were fortunate for our first tour. We got to actually see pretty much the whole of Japan, you know. And
that tour was so early on, right? If you go to the tour poster, somewhere on our Facebook page, you can see the logo that we used was like
the first,
the first iteration of the Tempest Rising logo. It has like a shark.
yeah,
We got it designed by like a mate or something. I can't remember. Yeah, it was terrible logo. Terrible fucking logo.
And where is this? Is that on
Yeah,
the?
no, that was- yeah.
Oh,
It'll be like a Facebook banner.
I just found the.
Surely.
I'll just bring that up here. I just found the tattoo. Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, his missus did it as well. So yeah. It was really,
Wow.
it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
hell good,
And,
man. Good work.
Yeah, we're actually gonna, with these new songs that we're releasing, we're actually releasing a new logo as well. So when he told us at the show that he was getting the logo tattooed on him, I was like, just letting you know, man, we're changing the logo. I was like, what? And then he's still like, get the OG logo. That's the one. So that's the same one we're getting, like the one with the fucking palm trees.
Oh, okay. So the one he's got is the new logo.
No, that's the old one. We're gonna,
right.
yeah, but we told him, so he knew. But that is like the OG logo, so we'll that's respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just bring it up again just to make sure. Got the okay. I can see. Yeah, it looks a bit different to the other one.
Yeah, that one's
different. Yeah,
that was nothing, man. That was nothing.
there's even a hidden one somewhere. One of the very first shows we played as well. I think we kind of just generated as well. It's only on one poster.
Yeah. What happened is we didn't have a logo for the show because we just started. So I went onto the internet and just typed in TR logos and just stole the first one that I thought looked cool, and we just used that. So I'm sure it's an actual business logo that we just stole randomly from the internet. Yeah, but we never used it or anything, so they can't sue us.
Yeah, fuck it.
They can take all it if they want money. So.
That's it. It's all rock and roll, man. Cool, man. Thanks so much, guys. It was absolutely crazy to hear about all those stories, man. It must be crazy memories. I'm sure there'd be as you said, a lot of stuff that's probably not suitable for for live audience, but anything you shared, man, was fantastic to hear about, especially all those stuff, man. You know, losing your passport and all the airport stuff, man. That must be hectic, man.
Yeah. All make for good memories.
Yeah,
for sure, man. We're gonna finish off on Breathe. Do you just want to give us a little background story on that? That again, because that's a really, really cool sort of visual video.
Yeah. So Kesh and I sort of co-directed it, I guess you could say. The idea was, to be honest, I really love the music video Dig by Mudvayne. And so
right. It's actually, it's quite similar.
The white background, it's like a classic. And I was like, I want to put like fucking makeup on and shit. That was actually just before my no, it was after the Demets. So it was kind of like, you know, I had the experience with the theatrical, so that kind of bled over into the idea for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the song is it's a pretty lighthearted song, not very dark content at all. You know, it's about love and caring and embracing each other as friends do. Yeah, no, it's pretty dark. I don't want to like go into what it's about. You just listen to the lyrics, look at the makeup, and people kind of be like, "Oh, yeah,
sweet."
That's
too easy, man. Excellent. Look, it's actually awesome video, and again, people should obviously check you guys out on the streaming platforms as well. You got the latest album up there, and I'm just guessing here, but assuming the new single will be out there as well.
Yes,
on streaming platforms in about a month's time, and you stay up to date on your Facebook page when the release is, YouTube for the video and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very, very exciting stuff, man. Thanks so much, guys. It was a pleasure. I really, really enjoyed the conversation and all the cool stories.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for having us, man.
And just quickly, I just quickly throw it back up here. Slayfest 2020.
Yeah.
Don't forget it. Saturday the 19th of September, Badlands Bar. Boom.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Wicked. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And thanks again. I'll look forward to seeing the new video soon.
Thank
See
you.
you, dude.
Cheers, guys.